Hi to everyone. Today's topic is flow chart of a typical water scheme. Objectives: on completion of this period, you would be able to understand the various components of a typical protected water supply. In the previous class, we have discussed regarding the introduction and objectives and need for the water supply scheme. So once we recap, in the previous class we have learned that the general importance of water and the utility of water, development of water supply, need for protected water supply, objectives of protected water supply scheme. So these are the topics we have discussed in our previous classes, and today we are going to see the components of a protected water supply scheme. So let us see source of water, intakes, treatment, distribution. So you can see coming here, what is the source of water? From where we are getting the water? By rainfall, either from rivers or from lakes or from pumps or from the reservoirs. That is nothing but the source of water. And intakes, which are collecting the water in a reservoirs, and these intakes water where done the filtrations process and sending to the persons. And the treatment, this is the main component. The water we cannot drink directly, and we have to treat it, and we have to drink water. And distribution, this is nothing but supplying the water to the distributors, people, to the society. How the water supply should be done. Okay. Once we are going to see now schematic diagram of typical water supply scheme. So this is the first water supply scheme. Sources of water. In sources of water you can see surface sources and subsurface sources. So it is divided into two types, and the subsurface sources is ponds, lakes, rivers and streams, impounding reservoirs. Coming to subsurface sources, springs, wells, infiltration galleries, infiltration wells. And from, you can see here, from the wells we are going to see that there are artesian wells, duct wells, driven wells, tube wells. There are the four wells it was classified, and from the tube wells there are shallow tube wells and deep tube wells. From impounding reservoirs we can see here and tube wells, there are intake works. From impounding reservoirs and the tube wells, the water will be collected to the intake works, and from intake works the water will be going to the treatment plants. From the treatment plants, you can see in the treatment the process will be done. First one is aeration, and the next one is sedimentation, and the third one is filtration, and the fourth one disinfection, and the fifth one miscellaneous treatment. Then finally the water will be distribution system to the supply to the consumer. So this is a flow chart how the water will be supplied from one way to the other. So coming to here, you can see in the flow chart itself surface sources and subsurface sources. The surface sources examples are ponds and lakes, which are present on the surface, that is nothing but on the ground level, and the rivers and streams, and the impounding reservoirs. Reservoirs are nothing but dams. Okay, and you can see subsurface sources, the springs which are automatically formed by the climates, and wells. In wells also we can see the four types: artesian, duct wells, driven wells and tube wells. So these wells were created by the people manually, and some wells were created by the machineries. And okay, and you can see here in subsurface sources the infiltration galleries and infiltration wells. The galleries which are present under the ground system and infiltration were also presented under the ground. And you can see from the tube wells we are having shallow tube wells and deep tube wells. Shallow tube wells are up to the certain ground level. Deep tube wells are very large depths. And from tube wells you can see the intake works were collected from the impounding reservoirs. Intake works we can see in reservoirs. Every reservoir we have the river intake, canal intake. So this will be collecting the water and moving to the other types. And next one is treatment. So here the treatment we are doing aeration, filtration, sedimentation, disinfection, okay, and miscellaneous treatment. So in this process the water will be filterized by adding the minerals, by removing the fluctuations, by removing the salts, paper, everything will be removed, and the soft and the hard water will become soft water by doing the treatment works. And finally the water will be supplied to the distribution system. Those are nothing but overhead tanks or pump houses, okay. Through pipes the water will be supplied to the consumer. The consumer is nothing but the people whoever be at the houses, okay. This is a schematic diagram of a typical water scheme. And next, classification of sources of water. So once again you can see here sources of water are nothing but surface and subsurface. So this is the evergreen chart we can see from our school days. The precipitation, where the clouds were formed, the water which falls on the ground or any hill surfaces, it moves like a subsurface runoff to the reservoirs or oceans, okay, the ground level. Then this will form as a water surface on the surface, okay, and this water which includes, it will be evaporation and transpiration in a certain way by the heat of sun, and some water will be going to the ground levels, that will be formed as an infiltration, and this infiltration makes as nothing but subsurface flow. It also mixes to the some of the rivers or oceans, okay, and it will be coming to the downwards regions under the ground levels, and this water will also make evaporation due to the climatic seasons were changing, okay, and this process will be running on as a humid climate again forming the clouds and makes the precipitation. So this is nothing but totally hydrologic cycle. So this cycle will be running every season and climatic seasons. Classification of sources of water. So in surface sources, can you name some? Surface sources of water include rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, etc. Whereas in subsurface sources, can you name some? Subsurface sources of water include springs, wells, infiltration galleries, etc. So classification of surface sources, we can see ponds, lakes, rivers and streams and impounding reservoirs. So you can see the images which are displayed on the screen. The first one you can see, this is a lake where the water is collected, and this second one is nothing but the pond, okay. So the ponds are which are formed as a automatically by the rainfalls, and this is a river flow where it travels from one place to another place. We can see the very large and small rivers will be there. So many types of rivers are there in our India. And streams, so these are also formed by the hills type mountains and plateaus areas. We can see these types of streams where the own way created by the nature, and these are the impounding reservoirs which are nothing but created to we are created by the people by storing the water in a storing capacity reservoirs or any dams, okay. So now classification of subsurface sources. So in subsurface sources, springs, wells, infiltration galleries, infiltration wells. So these are the springs we can see in a very hot or any very cool climatic regions in a near mountains, and we can see these types of springs. So this is the cross section of a pump placed in sump of infiltration gallery. So these are infiltration galleries. You can see a river is there. From the river you can see a pump will be connected, that is nothing but a discharge pipe. A pump will be there, and from here the bottom of the region the water will be connected. These are the pump house, and this is a sump, okay, and this is a pipe infiltration gallery just like a chamber. This is a filter pack which is used by the granular material, okay. So this will be where the river water submerges to the down region. So this will be collected from this chamber, and this water will be pumped out to the pipe. So these are nothing but infiltration galleries. So next one is infiltration wells. What are infiltration wells? Vertical collection wells sunk on the river or stream banks. Water infiltrates from both bottom and sides. A hand pump, windmill or power pump is used to pump out water from the well. So whereas not affected by floods, silt, sand, gravel loads and extremely low waters in streams provides better quality water throughout the year filtration. So the well can have radial porous pipes, nothing but jack wells. So this is a jack well what we are seeing here. So this is a plan. This from we are seeing from the top view, and this is a elevation we are seeing from the front view, okay, and this is the top view which is nothing but we can see this is the manhole and this is the top cover. So these are all nothing but porous pipes which are connected from every side. These are nothing but disinfiltration wells, okay. So masonry wall with open joints will be connected and sandy river bed. So this is the water table. So we can see in the image here directly. So this is a river stream where so it will be located up to near the 1.5 meter near to the river areas. So we will be collecting just like a chamber, and top of the area we are keeping the pipe just like a digging pipe, or any we can use with the hand or we can use with motor. The pipe will be connected to the bottom of the bed. So this is a concrete casing, and this is sand or gravel bed. This is totally sand or gravel bed will be there. And this is the, you can see, this is the cast iron ring. This ring portion which is connected with cement. So these will be connected to riverside wells. So this is an example where you can see the displaying on the image on the screen. So this type of will be collected. So in this totally water will be filled. So where the water is full, it will be collected to this pipe and it takes to the needy purposes. So classification of wells, where we can see artesian wells, dug wells, driven wells and tube wells. So these are the artesian water and groundwater. So we can see these types of pipes everywhere near the roadside surfaces or in our houses. So this is the diagram where you can understand. So this is the rock layer, and this is a second one is the artesian aquifer where the water will be available, groundwater, and this is the loam, soil, and this is the sandstone, and this is the water where we will be availing the second, and this is another black cotton soil, and this is the water well. So these are the artesian wells located up to the bottom of the artesian aquifer. Okay, the bottom of the level, these pipes will be digged and will be located. So when the water groundwater level increases, this water will be coming to the outside of the wells. So this water will be used for the certain uses. So this is the dug well. This is a common well where we can see everywhere in our India, in villages most probably we can see. And next one is dug and driven and drill. So in the name itself we can see by digging the soil with the manual person with a chain, okay, and taking with the bucket the soil, pouring outside. This is the one type of system. And the second one is driven, where heavy weight bar will be there, and this is a rod pipe type will be there. So by removing and holding this pipe on the weight, when holding and extensioning, so it will be going to the bottom of the pipe, so that it will be getting the driven well. And next one is drilled well. So drilled well is also using with machinery, by keeping the heavy weight machineries, and it will be rotating and digging the soil and removing the soil from the outside. So these are nothing but three types of wells. So this is tube well and this is a boring well. We can see these two are also nothing but tube wells only, which are used by the machineries. And next one is intakes. So intakes are structures which collect water from the surface sources for further conveyance to treatment plant. Example: reservoir intake, lake intake, river intake, canal intake. So what they will do, which collect water from the surface sources for further conveyance to the treatment plant. So these we can see near the reservoirs. These all types will be there. So in this a chamber type will be there. The water will be coming from the bottom, and you can see here the river depth of scale also. And this is a canal intake, which when water releases from that side or any 2 and 4 side, we can see the water will be going on to the down layers. The next one is treatment of water. The raw water from different sources contains various impurities. It cannot be directly used by the public. To reduce the impurities below the allowable limits, raw water should be properly treated in a treatment plant. So components of treatment plant are aeration, sedimentation, disinfection, miscellaneous treatment. So what is aeration? Aeration is the process of bringing water and air into close contact in order to remove dissolved gases such as carbon dioxide and to oxidize dissolved metals such as iron, and it can also be used to remove volatile organic chemicals VOC in the water. Aeration is often the first major process at the treatment plant. During aeration, constituents are removed or modified before they can interfere with the treatment processes. So these are all aeration tanks, and this is a largely water treatment plant. And next one is sedimentation. So sedimentation is the tendency for particles in suspension to settle out the fluid in which they are entrained and come to rest against a barrier. So this is due to their motion through the fluid in response to the forces acting on them. So these forces can be due to gravity, centrifugal acceleration, or electromagnetism. So we can see the example: particles suspended in water. So particles settle on up to this bottom. So this is the process will be done in the sedimentation. So later in upcoming classes we are having the detailed description about the treatment plant process. And next one is theory of disinfection. What is disinfection and why it is done? So disinfection is the process of removal, deactivation or killing of pathogenic microorganisms. So whatever the chemicals or any bacteria which are present in the water, so it will be removed by the disinfection process. Okay, just like bacteria or viruses, protozoa, organic salts, and color, odor and taste, and iron and manganese. So this will be done. Untreated water, you can see bottom, coagulation, and next one is flocculation, and sedimentation, filtration, disinfection, treated water. So distribution system. Through the distribution system, treated water is supplied to the consumer in required quantity at suitable points of consumption. Okay, this is the flow chart we have seen now. And what is the pH scale readings for water? This is for the everyone reference. You can see pH 0 is batric acid, pH 1 stomach acid, and pH 2 lemon juice vinegar, pH 3 orange juice soda some dental rinses, pH 4 tomato juice beer, pH 5 black coffee, pH 6 saliva or cow's milk, and pH 7 is the pure water that where we are drinking. And pH 8 seawater, pH neutralizing dental rinses, and pH 9 will be just like baking soda, pH 10 is anticides, pH 11 anticides dental treatment rinses, and pH 12 is soapy water. So we have to use the water which is nothing but up to the pH 7 or above or less, the water is not purified or it is not good for health. So pH is nothing but potential hydrogen. The pH scale measures how acidic or a basic substance is in logarithmic. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. A pH of 7 is neutral. A pH less than 7 is acidic and greater than 7 is basic. So you can see this one. So where we can see the normal and distilled, baking soda and so on. So this is the condition. Summary, we have discussed about today sources of water, intakes, treatment, distribution. So frequently asked questions are, draw the flow chart of a typical water supply scheme. Okay. So thank you. Have a nice day.